Hey guys, it's me Dawson from Decoders. So in this session, I'll be talking about cloud computing. So before I start, I would like to give a huge shout out to Advait, Tanush, and Sharath and Karthik Shetty for their permission to allow me to use this presentation. So a big shout out to Advait, Tanush, and Sharath and Karthik Shetty. So we'll be discussing on cloud computing. So let's move forward. So overview. First, we'll discuss on what is cloud computing, then its basic features, then its characteristics, then its history, then its service models, then its deployment models, then its skills needed for cloud computing jobs, then well-known cloud services, then future scope of cloud computing in India. So just a second. Yeah. So what is a cloud computing? Cloud computing is a paradigm that allows that allow on-demand network to access or to share computing resources, a model for managing, storing, and processing of the data via internet. So nothing but it's kind of the network to access the shared computing resources. So whatever resource is there for resource sharing purpose, cloud computing is used. So what are the basic features? So it allows the user to deal with the software without having the hardware. So it what it does it allows the user to deal with the software without having to touch the hardware. So it's kind of the software part of the thing without having to touch the hardware. So everything is done via remote server. Nothing is saved locally. So everything is done via remote access. That is, nothing is saved locally. That is on the machine. Everything is done on the cloud. So it is called as cloud computing. So the characteristics are as follows. So there is resource pooling, in the sense you can share the resources. You can pool out, like a car pool you might be knowing. That is, many people will sit in a car and they'll go. Like that, resource pooling is there. On demand self service is there. So self service is there on demand. Easy maintenance. So the maintenance part of it is very easy. Then there is large network access. That there is the network access is kind of large. Then availability is also there. That is, it's available. Its availability is also there. That is the runtime, I feel. Then it's automatic system, everything is automated. Then it's even economical also, that is, it can help the economy. Then even security part of the things also, it helps, like in the encryption and part also. In cloud computing you will be having cryptography, I feel, which is a paper. So in the terms of security also, there is a highly sophisticated this thing, like cryptography, kind of a lock. So pay as you go. Then measured services. So pay as you go, in the sense, as you go you can pay for the service, and even there is a measured service. So the history of cloud computing is as follows. So in the 50s and in the 60s, it theorized that the world would have the cloud computing. So in 50s and 60s itself, it was declared that the world would have cloud computing. So in 1990, the start of VPNs in the sense of virtual private network. I'll be doing a separate session on virtual private network soon. So the start of the VPNs and efficient infrastructure started in the 1990s. So in the 2000s, the Amazon built the efficient servers, that is AWS, that is stands for Amazon Web Services. So Google then in 2009, Google started providing cloud services through its maps. Then in 2009, Microsoft launched its Windows Azure, and the companies like Oracle and HP came into the business of cloud computing. So you can see that even Windows Azure also came. So that is also there in the cloud computing part. Excuse me. Yeah. So next is the service models. So service models are as follows. There is IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. There is PaaS, that is platform as a service, and next there is SaaS, that is SaaS, that is software as a service. So in the infrastructure as a service, it has a basic service. The service user maintain the software. Platform as a service, user are given the software and the hardware automatically. Software as a service, all the software and hardware part is transparent. User only knows their own access point. So the cloud clients are the web browser, mobile app, thin client, terminal emulator. SaaS are the CRM, email, virtual desktop communication, and games. PaaS are the execution runtime, database, web server, and web development tools. IaaS is virtual machines, servers, storage, and load balancers, and network. Virtual machines, I'll be doing a separate session very soon. So the deployment model, deployment in the sense, when you finally deploy it, like first you test it locally, then you deploy it. So when you're deploying models, in the deployment models, there is public cloud, that is operated by anyone. There is community cloud, that is operated by a member of the specific community. There is private cloud, that is operated solely for a single organization. And there is hybrid cloud, that is composition of the two or more clouds, that is private, community, or public. So the skills needed for cloud computing jobs are as follows. So the fundamentals of the cloud computing skills. So the fundamentals are very important. Then there is programming skills. So skills matter the most when it comes to programming or any part. Yeah, in programming part only particularly, programming matters the most. Then managing an integrated environment of networks. So in integrated environment of networks, we need to manage. Then the selection of the right services of the cloud. Then we need to maintaining databases also. We need to maintain the databases also. Then we have to managing a network. We need to manage the networks also. Then even there is securing of the cloud environment, since privacy is one of the main concern and we need to have security. Then adapting to new roles and technologies. So we need to adapt the new roles and the technologies in the space. So the well-known cloud services are as follows. There is Amazon Web Services, that is AWS. There is Google Cloud Platform. There is Microsoft Azure. There is Alibaba Cloud. There is VMware Cloud. There is Oracle Cloud. There is Salesforce, and there is Liquid Web. So you can see there are many cloud services currently available. So the future scope of cloud computing in India is follows: expected to grow with an annual growth rate of 30% by 2022 and market of 4 billion USD, that is $4 billion of market cap it's worth. Even the big brands and the Fortune 500 companies are managing their services in a product of cloud to India. So the number of internet users are increasing day by day in India, to leading to generation of more data and jobs. So you can see the revenue model here and itself. You can see the CAGR, that is a compounded annual growth rate, which has been 35.25%, and next it's 22.5%. So you can see the reference point data also here. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and as usual, like, dislike, share, subscribe, do whatever, but one thing I would like to say is never stop learning. And a huge shout out to all the guys who had mentioned in the first session. Thank you very much, guys.